Somebody has to punish the corrupt. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello everyone, this is Throw Smiley, and I'm here with my meth-addicted urban free flow gang. Tell me who you are, guys.
My name is not LBJ, it's Josh Cece.
I'm Brian Lesh, and my looks have absolutely nothing to do with this.
Are you there, War? It's me, Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Just head over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We've got tons of bonus content there, including a Star Wars miniseries, holiday shows, A Personal History of Sound, which is about music. We do a weekly show where we count down the top 4 songs in the nation. We swear they are. But this week, however, we are going to be watching on Harmless Phosphorescence, The Punisher Warzone.
This isn't like any procedure that we've ever done before.
Well, that's why I'm here, Doc.
Your facial muscles, tendons, bone structure, everything. It was destroyed.
Evil has many faces.
You look fantastic, brother.
Yes. Darkness has many allies.
This deal is going down tonight. Raise your army!
But there is only one who punishes them all. This is just the beginning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's play a game.
Gotta be with you, Frank.
Sometimes I'd like to get my hands on God.
FBI, drop your weapon! You're fighting a war.
Punisher Warzone.
See you in hell.
The Punisher Warzone, released December 5th, 2008, with the running time of 103 minutes, budget of $35 million. It took in $10.1 million. Woohoo!
It was a Christmas punishing. It was all this December, and then it was that line of like, sometimes I wish I could kill God or whatever he said. Kick his ass.
That's so Christmassy.
He wants to fight God.
Yeah, that's it.
He wants to fight God, not destroy God.
Catch me outside, God.
Just to fight him.
Catch me outside.
Oh God, yeah. So it was Marvel Knights.
What's with the Marvel Knights production?
They were trying to have R-rated, like a separate R-rated label.
Ooh, After Dark.
And this was Avi Arad, so this is Marvel.
It's full Marvel, yeah.
Had the logo, yeah.
Yeah, it's full Marvel. It was just, they were trying to have the late night gets a little bit of blue Marvel.
Well, I remember.
Are you guys?
Go ahead, Al. Sorry.
Are you guys familiar with the Marvel Knights imprint of Marvel Comics?
Yes.
I am not.
Moon Knight.
Okay, so
One like Blade and Ghost Rider, right?
Not explicitly. There were a lot. So around 1998, when Marvel was filing for bankruptcy, they outsourced to, I think it was Event Comics. It was Punisher, Daredevil, and a couple others off the top of my head. There were like lower profile characters that they shopped out to this other company, and they started calling that Marvel Knights. And then this company started doing other characters, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, under Marvel Knights that were sort of a re-envisioning. They weren't focused so much on continuity of the universe versus like standalone stories and whatnot. And I don't know if they're still going right now, but it was a sub branch of Marvel Comics, and then for the movies, it was this one and Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance were the only two movies that ended up being Marvel Knights productions.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder. I mean, apparently they just, once the MCU really started rolling, I guess they figured it wasn't going to be something they wanted to do.
Yeah. And what they said about Marvel Knights as a production company was that it was intended to produce some of Marvel's darker and lesser known titles. So,
okay.
Like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Nothing's darker than the Fantastic Four 2.
Well, that was, the dark aspect. That was the production company for the movies. The Marvel Knights as a comics venture, they took on like all the characters eventually, most of.
Well,
anyway.
I remember the show Marvel Days and Marvel Nights about a young businesswoman trying to have it all.
The Days and Nights of Marvel Dodd.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So this movie, like I said, it was released on December 5th, 2008. And I think it's time, guys, we play the box office top 10 game. Woo. Here it is. This is the game where I will count down the top 10 movies of the week of December 5th, 2008. I will describe them using only the box office mojo descriptions, which is actually a lie because I change them often just in order not to give away what the movie is. But the boys are going to try to guess what movie I'm describing. Plus, they're going to try to guess where this opened. Brian, why don't you guess first?
This made $10 million and cost $100 million to make?
$35 million to make. But still it did not even come close to making back its money.
Let's say number 4.
Brian goes with 4. Josh, what you saying? What you talk about, Josh?
Well, I guess it all started with, let's see, 4. That's respectable, but I'll go higher. 7.
Josh goes 7. Al, where are you coming in on this?
6.
Al goes 6. So we got 7, 6, and 4. All right, here we go, guys. This is the box office top 10. Coming in at number 10 for the week of December 5th, 2008. Wild behavior forces a pair of energy drink reps to enroll in a Big Brother program.
Role models?
Yes, indeed. There was a Wilson in that, wasn't there?
No.
No?
It was Sean William Scott. What's his name? From whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty funny. David Wayne directed it, wrote it from the state, and all the other movies he's made. Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay. Role models, yeah. Good done. You get a Sean William point for that, Josh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to think of his name, and I just keep thinking Lumberg, but that's not his name from American.
No, it was what was the name? Schlegel. Spineberger. I don't know. I know what you mean, though. He had a one name.
He did.
Coming in at number 9, opening this week. Chronicling the rise of Chess Records and its recording artists. One of those mid-20th century period piece.
Stifler was his name.
Stifler! And that is also the name of this movie.
Thank you, Andrew.
About Chess Records. Stifler, of course. Yeah, because it's a boner joke. Okay.
God, this had Beyonce and Mos Def and everybody in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
God, what is this called? Cadillac Records.
Boom! You got it.
Okay, yeah. I remember that.
Brian,
I get a drunk Adrian Brody crashing into things?
You do.
You do.
To put on your desk. It's a little one.
I've always wanted one of those.
Just bumping into your shit on your desk.
Coming in at number 8 this week, a man ruthlessly demolishes organized crime, but it starts an even bigger war.
This is The Wedding Planner.
Yes. The Wedding Planner 2, the new batch.
Say yes to the vest.
This would be Punisher Warzone.
This would be Punisher Warzone. Number 8, you all overshot it. This movie Beyond. I don't know why I had an extra syllable. Coming in at number 7. Frank Martin is forced to deliver Valentina, the kidnapped daughter of a Ukrainian government official, from Marseille to Odessa on the Black Sea. En route, he has to contend with thugs who want to intercept Valentina's safe delivery.
Is this the Transporter?
The
It's got to
Transporter.
be something Transporter 2.
2?
Nope.
The new batch?
3.
3.
First
The,
one?
the old batch is back again.
This outperformed
The old
a
bad.
Marvel Punisher fucking movie. This is a Marvel Punisher rehash, basically.
Yeah, and this is the third one, and it didn't even open this week.
Yeah.
So it's had a
That's
fall off
how
already.
badly this movie did. Wow.
Yeah, this movie did terribly. I remember when it came out, me being like, yeah, I'm not going to see that. And I did not.
I remember seeing it early, but I don't think I saw it in theaters.
Yesterday was the first time I've seen it, so.
Oh yeah, same here. I had never. Yeah, I kind of liked it.
Oh, yeah, me too. It was way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be.
Same.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a good movie, but it was super entertaining.
Yeah.
Now
so-
that we know the week that this came out, I think that this came out 2 months too late. This should have come out in October. It's a horror movie.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Number 6 in the box office top 10. Oh, boy. A group of friends fly back to New York City, but they crash land where they meet a bunch of other people, and one of them discovers their royal heritage. I left a lot of really important details out of that.
Wow.
Is this Mr. Deeds? No.
No.
King Ralph.
2, the electric new batch. No, this is animated. This is animated.
Moana.
No, a few years too early for that.
Well, see, I'm just throwing it
The main characters are not necessarily human.
out. See, not necessarily is a.
Are they mammals?
I mean,
I'm
some,
trying to figure out this
some, but not all.
unexpected royalty thing.
I doubt you saw this movie, Al. Just
I forgot the entire.
just based on
description.
its demographic.
Demographic.
Yeah, it's unlikely. Madagascar escape to Africa. Or the way
And they crashed in New York?
they're flying back to New York, but on the way they crash land into an African nature reserve.
Oh.
They have to eat each other like they're a soccer team.
So the way the poster's set up, though, it could be Madagascar 2, Escape Africa. Madagascar, Escape to Africa. Or Madagascar, Escape Africa 2. Coming in at number 5. A man descends into mystery as he tries to stop a mysterious organization from eliminating a country's most valuable resource, its children. Not its children. It's children I added on. That's not part of the description.
Okay.
I
was like, wow.
I knew that was coming.
How did they make that?
Blood diamond.
No.
Regular diamond.
Got it from Zales. Those are blood diamonds.
He went to Jared. Well, Elon Musk's parents went to Jared.
We don't mind diamonds anymore, just lithium.
Right. This is part of a franchise.
The Bourne Like yesterday's.
You're trending in the right direction. It is part. It might be. It's the 20+ somethingth movie in this franchise.
Oh my God, the Fast and the Furious.
No, Vin Diesel is not in this.
Cannonball Run.
It is a franchise it's a franchise that's had Sean Connery in it.
James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which one is this? 2008.
8.
Casino Royale?
No. I think that was like a year or two earlier.
And then
Or it must have been like 3 years earlier. This was Quantum of Solace.
Oh, Quantum of Solace. One of the most intense titles.
Yes. I don't even know what that means. Quantum of Solace.
No, you think about it.
Prepositional phrase. What is that? What are they describing?
It's the smallest amount of solace that could possibly exist in a single place.
Wow. I am 100% offering a Quantum of Solace to Ted Cruz on the bad press he's gotten recently. Coming in at number 4 this week. Okay. Set before World War II, an English aristocrat who inherits a sprawling ranch reluctantly pacts with a stockman in order to protect her new property from a takeover plot. As the pair drive 2,000 head of cattle over unforgiving landscape, they experience experiencing a bombing by Japanese forces firsthand.
That takes place where? In the United Kingdom?
I will not tell you where it took place because that will 100%.
This is that Australian movie.
And what's it called?
Shrimp on the Barbie.
This is
City Slickers 3.
This is starring Tom Cruise's previous wife, Nicole Kidman.
And I think that's Gyllenhaal with her.
And I thought that was Viggo Mortensen. Shit, what is this movie
Yeah, I think
called?
you're right. It's impossible to tell. I can't see the cast. I can only see the tiny little thumbnail of the poster.
I can't remember what it's called.
It's that Australian movie.
It's not a city in Australia. It's not a horse.
Is it Fury Road?
The title of this film is Australia.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, yeah, you could just pack that up and get out of here. That's the best you could do.
That could be about anything.
I know. I would at least call it Drop Bears.
It's like, starring a can of Marmite.
I call it Drop Dead Hitler.
Yahoo
where Hitler shows up as your invisible. Wait, no, that was just
done.
Yeah, that was. Never mind.
New Zealander.
I thought I was being funny, but it exists. All right. Coming in at number 3. The canine star of a fictional show believes his powers are real.
Oh, that's a cute.
Oh, Bolt.
Bolt. Yeah.
Did we do that, or are we going to do that?
I mean, maybe when we get to the animated shows.
Oh, it's animated.
It's animated.
It's not
yeah. It's not like Underdog where the dog's animated but the rest is real. No, it's all animated.
I knew that one because my sister lent me the DVD like 3 years ago, and I haven't watched it yet. It's just been sitting on my shelf.
It's cute. It was on a few times when my kids were young. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my. Okay. Coming in at number 2 this week. Oh boy. A girl moves to a small town in the Pacific Northwest and falls in love with a mysterious classmate.
Twilight.
Boom! You get 5 points, 1 for each Twilight movie. I don't know. Were there 5? 4? I have no idea.
I don't know. Stephanie Meyer probably is still writing them.
Yeah. The craziest.
I was hoping for some glitter.
Yeah. Well, would you be a vampire or a werewolf?
I don't think I could choose. I think I'd be like the girl in the story. I'd just be torn.
I'd be a vamp wolf.
Yeah, there should be more hybrids. Instead of the regular vampires walking around.
A werepire. That's
got 2 bottom halves. All right.
And
can I get a Franken Yeti?
Yeah, baby.
Do you want to supersize that? For only 79 cents.
Obviously.
That's right.
And coming in at number 1 this week, a couple struggles to visit all 4 of their divorced parents on Christmas. Hijinks ensue. The poster is white with red and green. And the couple's back to back going like, "Oh, we gotta do a thing."
Yeah. I think it's called Four Christmases.
Yep, it sure is. Vince Vaughn and who's the blonde? Is that Kate? What's her face? No, Reese Witherspoon. Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon.
Wow, I didn't even know about this movie's existence, and I had a feeling that it had Vince Vaughn in the lead.
James Gandolfini is in it.
Yeah, 08 was a little late for McConaughey. He was, I think, already being renaissanced, so it had to be Vince Vaughn.
He is a pinch hitter sometimes.
He is. And that is our box office top 10 for the week, which brings us to the character and comic background. Al, we did talk about the Punisher a couple more times. Anything, we have some new characters you want to discuss this time around?
I do. In fact, we have 9 new comics characters.
No, you don't
What
say.
the?
Okay, some of them are kind of minor, and they'll go really fast.
No problem.
But we'll start off with David Linus Microchip Lieberman, often known simply as Micro.
Thankfully.
For the size of his penis.
He is an ally of the Punisher, who assisted him by building weapons, supplying technology, and providing friendship and warmth on a winter night.
Snuggle up like a solo in a tauntaun.
Micro first appeared in The Punisher #4 in November of 1987, created by Mark Barron and Klaus Janson.
Cool.
Micro also served as the Punisher's cyber investigator and hacker, laundered and managed Frank's finances, and would establish and maintain safe houses.
Maintain. You would change the sheets.
Yeah. This is housekeeper.
Someone's got to do it.
Absolutely.
All right. Short blurb on this guy, Agent Paul Budiansky.
Wait,
that's
Budiansky?
Budiansky.
Is that a nickname or is that his real name?
That was his real name. You just watched this movie, dude.
I'm just saying, like, he had gams.
His friends called him Paul Booty for short. And when he was in shorts.
Yams. Like, excuse me, sir, do those legs go all the way up?
No, they stop at the knees.
In the movie, he was an agent of the FBI, but this character was based on an NYPD officer of the same name in the Widowmaker storyline by Garth Ennis, the collected edition of which was published in September of 2007.
Whoa.
The line that we heard from the trailer there, sometimes I'd like to get my hands on God.
And just touch them all over.
Yeah, that was a quote from this same Widowmaker storyline that Budiansky came from.
Okay.
I just happened to be clicking through some of those issues. I think it was issue #2 that came from. All right, Billy the Butte Russo, or Jigsaw.
Ooh, doggy.
In the movie, they call him Russotti. I don't know why they couldn't go with Russo. Maybe
I kept wanting to call him risotto.
Yeah, they wanted it extra spicy.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, some of the Italian stereotypes
Yes.
were straight out of like the Simpsons pizza guy.
Yeah.
James Cagney. All right.
So this character was created by Len Wein and Ross Andrew.
But hey, a shout out to Len Wein. Len Wein.
Yeah.
All right.
From all your hometown wieners.
So that issue of Amazing Spider-Man #162 came out in November of 1976. Jigsaw's origin story was detailed in Punisher Year 1 in 1995. Russo was hired to kill Frank and others to cover up the execution of Frank's family. Failing to kill Frank in a bomb explosion, Russo is thrown through a glass window by Frank, left alive as a message to organized crime, and Russo's pretty face is reduced to a jigsaw puzzle-like mess of scars.
So he was just simply thrown through a window in the comics.
Yeah, this was a lot more gruesome.
Yeah, he went above and beyond in this one.
I always thought he was a cool villain. Aesthetically. I guess I didn't know much about his storylines. But
Yeah, I wasn't very familiar with him. He was awesome in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
My longest character background segment goes to Detective Martin Soap.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Bring it on out.
In the comics is a hilarious, like there was so much. Detective Martin Soap, he is an NYPD police officer and ally of the Punisher, created by Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. First appeared in Punisher Volume 5, Number 2, May of 2000.
Well, so he's really new.
He is pretty new, yeah. Soap was plagued by bad luck throughout his life and career, starting from the day of his birth when he was dropped on his head by a nurse just after being born.
Kidding me.
If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have no luck at all.
I was just going to say, his life was plagued by bad luck. It sounds like he was alive.
Now that I'm reading this and going over the skin, this sounds very Garth Ennis, like Preacher level Garth Ennis, like the dark humor in this kid's life. Let's see. As a police officer, Soap is assigned to the Punisher Task Force with neurotic behavioral psychologist Buddy Plug.
Old Soap and Plug.
B Plug.
Buddy Plug. Yeah,
Buddy. Butty.
You know, there's you can have a buddy plug, but you got to be careful who you use it with.
I was going to say you should have your own. Try to have your own.
Yeah, just for sanitation's sake.
Yes.
I carry mine with me at all times.
Carry. Wink, wink.
I keep it safe and warm.
Someplace they'll never look.
That's the first place they always look.
Yeah.
The first place I show them. What can I say?
Well, yeah. There's only so many orifices.
Oh my God.
What we need is a new orifice.
Speak for yourself. I've got enough, man. I've got more than enough.
Well, I would like to appoint members to this orifice.
Duly elected to this orifice.
Yeah. What does that all look like?
You guys done? You guys done?
Yeah.
Cool. Plug would hang himself in their shared office after Soap criticized his Punisher profile. Not long after they first met.
Damn.
Not long after they first met. Jesus.
Guy can't take criticism. Can't take a fucking joke. Jesus. No. Did he hang himself in front of all those boxes? Like
in front of.
Right in the middle. Right in the middle. I don't know.
You gotta fucking solve these crimes on your own. I'm killing myself.
I like in front of as if they were witnesses to this horrific.
The boxes.
All right, I'm sorry. So,
okay. Soap teams up with another officer who's on another task force against the Nucci family, and they're scoping out a mansion. They're scoping out the Nucci mansion, thinking that that Punisher's going to arrive. So that was a plot element that showed up in the movie.
Nucci gang,
kind of. That female officer, Soap, they grew to be friends, and Soap tried to make a move on her, but she turned him down, saying that she was a lesbian.
More of a body wash gal.
And we're not sure if that was. Anyway,
He was like, "Come on, everybody likes a little soap on them."
Do we like
more
it
than
or-
all in one?
The pair are confronted by the Punisher after the Punisher killed everybody in the Nucci mansion, and he gives them compromising photos of the mayor and the police commissioner in exchange for
wait, together?
Were they together? Yeah.
Or
I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't on this case.
What if that happened in Gotham?
So he gave them the photos in exchange for all the information they have on the vigilante task force. But Soap uses the photos to blackmail his way up to the office of commissioner.
Oh my God.
That benefits Frank, right?
Not for long, because Soap would be demoted back to detective, back to the Punisher task force, after pictures of him soliciting prostitution surface.
Oh my God. It's pictures all around.
Kissing the mayor and the original police chief. It was caught up with him.
Yeah, Frank Frank almost had like a Batman Gordon thing going for a minute.
Yeah, almost.
He did, yeah.
The Punisher convinces Soap to become his official NYPD informant. Maybe
official.
He has a medal.
He's got a badge.
He just wears one of those Punisher T-shirts.
Yes.
He's got one of those Blue Lives Matter stickers on the back of his car window.
It's a Punisher.
You can buy him in Puerto Rico.
It's a Punisher T-shirt, but it's like one of the pink ones. That's like a half shirt, or like.
It's got tassels.
I got punished.
Or it's just cut and tied with like the kind you get like in Nogales or
Hard Rock. Okay.
So he did this after stopping Soap's suicide attempt after being demoted. Later, Soap was promoted to lieutenant after killing a serial killer in self-defense. The character is often depicted
in self-defense.
I mean, if it was a serial killer, he probably could have gotten away with it either way.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Either way. Anyway, the character of Soap is often depicted as a barfly, which we see several times in this movie. After becoming increasingly despondent over his luck and life, Soap is told by Castle when things aren't getting better to just go. Following his advice, Soap leaves the NYPD, moves to LA, and becomes a porn star.
There's a
up to this
Jesus,
point,
Marvel Knights.
What the fuck?
The fingers up.
This wasn't Marvel Knights as far as the comic books.
Oh,
it was Penthouse Letters.
It's just Marvel. Anyway, up to
it was
that
Highlights
point,
magazine.
Okay. Soap becomes a porn star. Up to that point, he had simply been unaware that he has large genitals.
What?
They said this in the comic? Why is any of this relevant? That's so crazy. Not on your judgment of including it. It's incredible. But why is this relevant to the story of the Punisher?
Right.
Who finally told him?
Does he end up like, okay, so this is my question. Does the Punisher wind up going to LA and like busting like a human trafficking scheme or something? He's like, so you're still my inside guy. Also, adult films. Is he doing homosexual adult films?
What?
It's hard to break in on the hetero side of things, I hear.
Well, what's a better question is to have made it that long in life without anybody mentioning the size of your giant genital.
Well, he probably didn't wash below his waist. He's probably one of those, like, I don't need to wash my leg.
Ironically,
not even in the academy.
Yeah, ironically, he didn't use soap. Oh, yeah. How do you get that old without being like, well, look at this. Look what's happening there.
Never saw another one.
All right, Al, go ahead.
All right. That leaves us to the last five. We've got.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Okay, we've got McGinty, Carmine Pizzi Gazzara and his son Ink, and Christou and Tiberiu Bulat. These were 5 characters that were in the movie, all villains or henchmen originating in different Punisher comics storylines. Boom.
Okay. Wow.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al, for that long trip down Soap Lane. Wow.
Oh, I was thanking you for putting up with us.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, your information. Yeah.
I mean, we've been thanking him for that for years, though.
So this came out in 2008. I just want to circle back on Soap again. When did Soap originate in the comics?
2000.
2000. So between 2000 and 2008, this man's character, he's not a real person, went through all of this.
Yeah, that's an arc.
Well, I don't know if
this may have
this was
continued
between
after
2000 and 2008. Yeah, I don't have solid dates on that.
After the phenomenal success of the character on film, they decided to expand and really take him out there. Yeah.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, he was so good in the movie, we'll put him into other movies in the comic.
Or Soap.
It's so weird that they would include that as a career choice, not to diminish, that as a gig, but why? Why a cop to LA to porn?
Have you ever read Preacher?
No.
Okay. If you had, you would know why. I'm pretty sure it's all Garth Ennis. He's got a very interesting sense.
He's got to have a porn star in everything he does.
His thing.
Yeah, they have a couple of characters in Preacher called the sexual detectives.
Oh,
that's their business.
I too am a sexual detective, Al.
The case has gone cold, but I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Al, and that brings us to the film itself. The Punisher: Warzone, the sequel to the 2004 Punisher, was announced prior to its release, prior to the original movie's release. They were already planning on making Punisher 2.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Avi Arad announced it as saying it would become the 5th Marvel property to get a sequel. And Jonathan Hensley, who directed the first one, was attached to it, as was Thomas Jane. And Thomas Jane announced at the time when the first Punisher came out that the villain would be Jigsaw. They started writing it. It was being written all through 2005. In 2006, they announced that it was going to be produced in Louisiana. It had to be pushed back due to Katrina.
Wow.
Yeah. Katrina might have cost us the sequel with Tom Jane, like 2 years, like a year earlier. But so Jane apparently started like getting ready for the role. He started training, buffing up. Then in 2006 or 2007, early 2000s, yeah, in June of 2006, he announced that he was no longer going to be in. Thomas Jane announced he would no longer be in Punisher 2, that the script was not up to snuff, and he wasn't going to be a part of a movie he couldn't get behind.
Huh.
Apparently,
I didn't think it was a bad script.
No,
it's got some scenes and lines that really work.
This movie, I don't know if it deserves the reputation it has, because it was really entertaining in like a Verhoeven like 80s like Lethal Weapon-y like.
Oh my god, I have a direct comparison to Lethal Weapon at one point in this movie.
I mean, tonally, this movie is a huge shift from the first movie.
So much.
Yeah.
I think that may have been.
That's why I asked.
What caused him to step away, if anything, about the script is like, what are you trying to make the Punisher and all of the bad guys into?
Well, also, this script is not what he was looking at. It got rewritten twice after he stepped away.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he left. What's his face? The original director left. I can't remember his name. I just said it a few minutes ago. Jonathan Hensley. He left too. And got rewritten a couple other times. We have it was originally, let's see, Markham and Holloway, who wrote Iron Man, got put on this. They wrote Iron Man. Their original script didn't have a lot going on, and then it was a rewrite was done by Nick Santora. Nick Santora was a writer on The Sopranos, Prison Break. Let's see. He wrote The Long Shots. I mean, he did some writing on Lie to Me, Law and Order. So he's mostly done TV stuff, but he has a writing credit on this. He did the main rewrite. And then it was given to director Lexi Alexander, one of the first female directors we've had on this show. Have we had one prior to this?
Wow.
I don't know if we have.
Shit. Is this the
crazy?
She didn't direct this film though, right?
Yes, she did.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
She did.
Indeed.
Yeah, Lexi Alexander. She was given this film, and it was her. She decided that they told her it could be a hard R. They said go for a hard R, and she decided she wanted to make it as a kind of homage to like the '80s Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Verhoeven, Lethal Weapon-y, Die Hard kind of films.
Yeah. What was the Kurt Russell one? It's like when just wearing a lot of leather outfits in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one like Cobra was Stallone, but yeah, that type of tough guy.
Yeah, lots of weird blue and orange lighting, occasional red and green lighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
don't
it
give a
looks
fuck
very
about
80s.
the rain.
Yeah, that and like the really like intense like special effects, like people's heads exploding kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah,
We sure did.
Yeah. Let's see. So she was a stunt woman. She did stunt work on Batman and Robin. She became a writer. Let's see. So she was a martial artist, which is how she got into the film industry. Then she started writing. She wrote and directed Johnny Flinton, Green Street Hooligans. I don't know any of these.
I recognize that one.
Green Street Hooligans. I don't remember that one at all. And Green Street Hooligans too. Soccer? Is that about soccer hooligans? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think even like Elijah Wood's in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember Elijah Wood being the face on the box.
Okay. She did a lot of TV work. She was a director on Arrow, Supergirl, SWAT, LA's Finest. So, she doesn't have a really long or storied career, but I thought this movie was she did pretty good on this. I mean,
she was the widow of the agent.
No, she was the director.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Okay. What just happened, Josh? Okay.
Trying to figure out who we were talking about.
He jumped forward in time.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, she was the director.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, a lady director. Anyways, so yeah,
I could have sworn there was another one on our list or up to date, but I can't figure out which one it was.
I don't know if there was, honestly.
Because Catwoman and what's her face, Elektra were not female directed films.
No, they
Supergirl
weren't.
was not.
Yeah, no, Supergirl was not.
Anyway.
None of the male superhero movies were directed by females that I can think of throughout the 80s, 90s. Too. I don't know. She might be our first.
That is really interesting that this is the first one. I mean,
And it took 2008. Buffy? It took a while. Buffy, no. Oh, no, that was directed by Fran Kazoy, who is Buffy. Yeah, Fran Kazoy. That's the female half of the Kazoy team. So yeah, Buffy was the first one.
Well, there you go.
Oh, shoot. That's sorry. That was the first one I thought of. But then when I tried to IMDb it, it went to the series.
Yeah.
Which had Joss Whedon.
Of course. But yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And that's the rest of the story.
So the cast, Ray Stevenson took over for Thomas Jane.
So who is this guy?
We're going to see him in Thor.
We will. We'll see him in Thor and The Dark
All
World
stuff.
and Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. He's been working for years. He was in King Arthur in 2004. His first film was The Theory of Flight. Cirque du Freak, the vampire's assistant. He was in the book.
Did he play the vampire or the assistant?
I don't. I refuse to look it up. He was also in the G.I. Joe sequel as Firefly. Oh, the Divergent series. 2015, he'll be in the Transporter Refueled. How many of those did they make? Jeez. He did a lot of TV work. Let's see. He was in Rome. He was Titus Polo in Rome. He was in Dexter.
Yeah, he was a big bad in Dexter. That was actually those the bad seasons, but he was compelling in it. Played a gay Ukrainian hitman.
All right.
Oh, he voiced Gar Saxon in Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a deep cut. And we got let's see, recently he's been in Vikings. He was the star of Vikings in season 6, apparently. It tells me. I've never watched Vikings, I don't know. So he works. He's just kind of tough guy. Honestly,
he was Blackbeard in Black Sails, the pirate
show.
That was pretty good.
I never watched it, but I heard it was good.
Yeah.
He was okay. He was no Thomas
He
Jane.
looks like Punisher from the comics.
Yeah.
I think he is the most right straight out of the comic book appearance. You know, his acting and his voice are not the same, but the way he looks.
Yeah.
Especially in that opening scene. He looks like fucking Frank Castle.
Yeah,
cool.
he does. We got Wayne Knight as Microchip. Newman.
Newmania.
Yeah. Newman, Jurassic Park. It's Wayne Knight. You know who he is.
It made me think the whole time, are they going to make him turn on Frank Castle?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's a weird casting choice because he just is a smarmy asshole and, betrayer of protagonists.
Yeah, that's what he does.
He's probably mad that his real nickname is Microchip, but everybody went with Micro instead of Chip for his name.
God damn it.
Like, fuck you. Right.
That's his motivation. That's why he works for Frank.
He wants revenge on the world.
We got Colin Salmon as Agent Paul Budiansky. Colin's
the Butt Man.
Yeah, the Butt Man.
Budiansky.
So in tangent in Wisconsin, there's a real estate agent called I can't remember the first name. It's like Mike or something. Dickman. Yeah. And his signs are up everywhere. And every time I drove by, I'd be like, "The Dick Man wants you to buy a house," and I'd make my kids laugh so hard.
They'd be like, "Kids, he doesn't even know he has a big."
Yeah.
There's an auto dealer in El Paso that's got a similar name. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, you drive through and you see the big signs, and that guy's totally self-aware that his name is like innuendo central.
No.
Well, yeah, you might as well lean into it.
Yeah,
or it's going to be a life of conflict, just arguing with you.
Yeah, one day in grade school, he's like, "You guys aren't making fun of me anymore."
I'm taking it back. Yeah. We have a deli here in Tucson called Dickman's Meats.
Oh yes.
Yep, that's embracing it for sure.
For sure. Mm-hmm. All right, we got Colin Salmon. Not from Key and Peele. Let's see. He was in 3 James Bond movies. Okay, let's see. He was in Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. All Pierce Brosnan era.
Who did he play in that?
Charles Robinson.
Interesting.
He was in Alien versus Predator, The Bank Job, Match Point, Blood, The Last Vampire. The last vampire's name is Blood. That's makes sense.
What a coincidence.
Right. How to Stop Being a Loser, Resident Evil Retribution. Mortal Engines, that movie. London Has Fallen. A bunch of action stuff. He did a lot of TV work too over the years, as all these guys seem to. He was in Dinotopia. Ooh. Bad Girls. He's let's see, he was in Doctor Who. A couple episodes of that. Did some Law and Order work, of course, as everybody does. I think everybody on Earth has to be in Law and Order at some point.
Yeah.
NTSF, SD, SUV. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what that stands for.
It's TRV.
No, it's NTSF SD SUV. What is this show?
National Transportation Safety
TSV.
Foundation.
Okay. Oh, it's a parody. Okay, it's a parody. It's a parody show. Okay, National Terrorism Strike Force, San Diego Sport Utility Vehicle.
And the whole show is just a bottle episode of him and his partner in an SUV driving around San Diego looking for terrorists.
A MacGruber.
I hope so. Let's see. He's been on Krypton recently.
He found it quite pleasant.
He was Zod. He played General Zod in the Krypton series.
That's actually kind of cool. I could see him doing that.
Yeah. Yes. Doug Hutchinson as James Risotto, a.k.a. Looney Bin Jim. This dude. Woo! He was in The Green Mile, The Chocolate War, Fresh Horses. Oh, he was in The Lawnmower Man. Oh, he was in Batman and Robin. He was
X-Files, right?
One of the gang leaders. He was in X-Files, yes. Yeah.
The Python, he could go through the...
that dude, yeah. Oh.
What was his name?
Eugene Toombs. Eugene Toombs.
Toombs. Yes, Toombs. He had more than one episode.
Yeah.
What did he do when he was... He did something when he was kind of young. Not like child actor young.
He was on the Young Riders.
Young Riders?
Yeah.
Really?
He was.
My wife was on Young Riders.
Wow. I wonder if she knows him.
No.
Tell her to give him a call.
Let's get Doug. Let's get Hutch. We call him Hutch.
Okay. I call him Dougie H.
I call him Sling Blade.
Dominic West played Jigsaw / Billy the Butte.
Fucking McNulty.
Yeah. McNulty on the wire.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's very British.
Yes,
yeah. Yeah.
Which, I always forget.
Yeah.
I know. They're sneaky. He was on he is on
one
the
of those
Alienist.
Sneaky Brits.
Well, how many actors have you ever been surprised and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, this shows
he's like
that
Tom
Alienist.
Holland level of sneaky though with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
You're like, oh, you're from Brooklyn? Oh, you're from Baltimore? Oh,
what?
My whole life is a lie.
Yeah. You're from something on something.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so he was in Spice World, the Spice Girls movie.
Wait, was he their manager?
He was a photographer.
Okay.
He played Queen Amidala's one of Queen Amidala's guards in episode 1.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Holy
he really did.
Hutch did? Wow.
Yeah. He was in 28 Days, not 28 Days Later.
Oh yeah,
Sandy Bullock
was in rehab.
Yeah.
What movie? There was a movie where someone got that confused and was like, "When are the zombies attacking Sandy Bullock?" And then it turns out it was in Bird Box.
From? Oh my God, yeah.
Then it turns out it was Bird Box, where they attacked her.
I thought that was a subscription service.
They just send you a bird in a box.
a bird of Mars.
It makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Nature.
He was in Chicago, Mona Lisa Smile. This dude works. Hannibal Rising. Wow. He gets a lot of work, this guy. John Carter. Most recently, he was in the 2018 Tomb Raider. And other than The Wire, he's been in a number of TV shows, most recently Stateless. Les Miserables, that was a TV show. And upcoming The Pursuit of Love.
He's an incredible actor. I can't say it enough. In this, whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. Dash Mihawk as or Dash Mihawk, I don't know how to say it. As Soap and his amazing penis.
It's Hung Daddy.
Let's
Richard
see.
Mulligan.
He was in Romeo and Juliet. He played Benvolio.
Yeah.
He was in The Thin Red Line, White Boys, Perfect Storm, The Guru. Oh no, The Guru.
I always get him mixed up with who's the real aggressive New Yorker?
What's that dude's name?
Oh, Michael Rappaport.
Rappaport. Yeah,
Rappaport.
He does have a
they
Rappaport.
look the same to me.
Yeah. They got a similar look.
Their heads were like bound when they were children or something. They're really like tall, narrow-faced guys. But the rest of them is not, you know?
Yeah.
Naturally, yes.
Let's see. He was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Hollywoodland, I Am Legend. Dude works. He also, oh my God, he has a discography. He has a music career.
Please let him be a rapper. Please
let him use Soap as his name in his music career.
It's just him rapping about his film career.
Soaping up.
Wow.
Suds.
He's featured in a lot of things. He might be a rapper. Wait, I've got to look this. I got to figure this out.
Please.
Oh my God. Is he a music? Okay. He started a band with friends.
That just makes me think of the sitcom Friends.
When he was 12 years old, he started a band with his friends. It was called SDC, which stood for Strictly Devastating Crew.
Ooh, shit. It wasn't for the Urban Free Flow gang?
In 2004, he was on Sabak Red's record Subocalypse, A Change Gonna Come, on the track I Have a Dream. He did music for the Green Street Hooligans soundtrack. He collaborated with Daniel Friedman, a jazz drummer and percussionist. Since 2015, he's been in the band Diz and the Farm. I think he's a singer. I think he sings. I don't think he raps. Although Strictly Devastating Crew.
Yeah,
well, he was a duo with DJ Jazzy Sponge, right? And Soap.
Romano Orzazi is Nikki Calvella, the undercover FBI agent. Julie Benz as Angela
Dexter's
Donatelli.
wife.
Dexter's wife. Darla from Buffy. She is actually the first person you see on screen in the Buffy series. Stephanie.
She had a weird accent in this movie.
Everyone had a weird accent.
But hers was the most noticeable out of everybody's.
Yeah. Larry Day as Agent Miller, Ron Lee as Captain Ross, TJ Storm as McGinty, the leader of the Urban Free Flow gang.
Yeah. Questions there, yeah.
Jude was like, call them the Jumpy Boys. And then when they said they were the Urban Free Flow gang, he was like, no, that's stupider.
Yeah. Fucking hardcore parkour, man.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Bianca Mergel as the girlfriend of Jigsaw. She was in like 30 seconds of this movie. Mark Camacho as Carmine Gazzara. A bunch of other people in bit roles. So
was that the guy that looked like Chaz Palminteri but was not? That
maybe?
gangster. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a picture of him. So this movie has was it 20? Let me see. 20. What is it? 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a one. I thought I'd read one star review, and I thought I'd give us a range here. So Matthew F. writes, dude, I hate this movie because of the way Nicky Carvella is portrayed as straight, when in the comic books he is, in fact, gay. 1 star.
All right.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Yes.
Issa G writes, I used to hate it, and now I like it. 4 stars. I don't know
what happened in between.
What made you change your mind, Issa?
He was stuck in a room with only.
Do we have a review from our
Brendan Glicane did not review Punisher Warzone, unfortunately.
Damn, is he going to be our new Siskel and Ebert?
Well,
if we've got him, we gotta read him.
Yeah. He's only done a handful of movies though, so unfortunately it's going to be pretty limited. But yeah,
there'll be gems though.
Yeah,
Nolan burgers.
There'll be
Nolan burger.
There'll be a Nolan burger or two. Tristan C writes, one of the best superhero movies ever. Period.
Wow.
So Tristan C. 5 stars.
Something for everybody out there.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. That's the end of our production section. Are you fellas ready to jump into the movie?
I'm going to get my applesauce back.
I'll take 2 Berettas, please.
Let's punish the Punisher.
Here it is. The Punisher Warzone. We open with the Marvel Knights logo. Then we get a credit sequence in which the Punisher watches the news. It's telling us there's a mob boss that was let go. There's crooked judges and all sorts of New York-y crime Punisher stuff. We get an establishing shot of New York. We're in New York, guys. No more Miami or Seattle.
Where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
don't spend any time in Puerto Rico.
None.
No.
Not even for a family reunion. Although many characters refer to like this town. Well, in this town, it's ... or you'll never do something in this town. Like it's so provincial. It's like, oh, you mean one of the biggest in the world? Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, and like they were trying to like not specifically mention it was New York, but there was the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Or no, it was New York. I don't feel like they were trying to show you. Yeah.
Yes. So, all right. Let's see, we get a New York establishing shot. We're introduced to Billy the Butte Risotto. He's an up-and-coming mafioso. He's going to make it in this crazy town, this business. 2 cops on a stakeout, Baldy and Soap. I felt
like the McMansion looked a lot like the one Travolta had.
It did. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely did.
Generic. It's generic, but yeah, anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely generic, but yeah, I wonder if that's just a mansion that they shoot at a lot.
It's the same like rap music video mansion that everybody uses.
Yeah.
Or soap pornos. Which are pornos based on the sitcom Soap from the late 70s.
I loved the one with the Who's the Boss Lady in Benson.
Yeah, it's called Getting a Mulligan.
Richard Mulligan and Billy Crystal and the Puppet was a really heavy scene.
The Puppet watched.
Soap was an amazing show. So all right, Baldy and Soap are on
dick too.
Yeah, there's Baldy and Soap are on a stakeout. Soap says he wants to arrest the Punisher. Baldy admires what he does. In the house, Billy meets with the head of the family, who's a very spicy meatball.
Yeah, he really is. Very Italiano.
It's very like, it's like, why you no taco with your accent no more? Like levels of like, wow, this is bad.
Yeah.
It's like Mario and Luigi's voice.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like, it's a me, Mafia.
Yeah.
Mafia Brothers.
Mafia Brothers.
Nintendo Dark.
He's like, you're crazy like your brother. It's like his nickname is Looney Bin Jim, so it's just funny to even bring it up to this guy.
Looney Bin Jim. And I kept thinking Looney Tunes, like he was going to be Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
He kind of was at times.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, great point. Because he was just mayhem. Yeah, maybe more of a Tasmanian devil than Bugs Bunny, but yeah, definitely cartoonish destruction.
I likened him to a spider monkey at one point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. So, all right.
But it's like, I like to think that there's a third brother who's just a little off, and he's Walmart greeter Gary.
The third brother plays the Scarlet Witch.
He needs like an FDR acronym.
That's true. He's not LBJ. That came out of nowhere. Just like, oh wow, it is though.
All right, so Billy is arranging for biological weapons to be brought in by the Russian mafia. The Godfather does not like that and says, "Don't do it." Then everybody except Billy goes downstairs for dinner. And what a dinner it is. The Punisher arrives and kills everybody at the table by spinning upside down from the chandelier and shooting.
Why does he need a fucking road flare?
Yeah. Because he turns the power off. But
before I kill everyone, dramatic lighting.
There was a very liberal amount of neck snapping.
Yes, there was.
I hate when neck snapping happens because it can be done, but it's a lot more difficult than they make it look. But Frank was just like grabbed his wife, just like neck snapping right and left.
It's just like pointing at people and their neck snaps.
First thing he did, he went straight for the elder Cesare and cut his head clean off.
Oh yeah, and it rolled.
Which is also a difficult thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Frank is just that good.
Just that good.
As far as the road flare is concerned, A, so he could see himself, and B, scare tactics. I think
so he could see himself? He's like, I gotta see my hand.
Not so he could see himself, but so he himself can see.
Yeah.
It illuminated the area. Yeah. And we said it before, but he has Batman vibes, Batman energy sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll use the shadows to scare you and then fuck you up.
That's the thing about the darker superheroes is that they are just really super drama queens.
Yeah.
Yes. Just maladjusted, whiny often.
That's
very theatrical.
Jude and I talk a lot about Star Wars. Maybe too much about Star Wars, more than any two humans maybe should talk about it. But and our number one takeaway is that the Sith are fucking dramatic bitches.
Yeah.
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 They're queens, man. They just love the attention.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just all about the show.
If they could do shit in secret, they'd get a lot more done.
Absolutely, but they've got to put it on for everybody.
You just had to sign your crime, didn't you?
Yeah.
I do it in secret until my grand reveal.
Yeah.
All right, so Billy gets away. He just kind of disappeared. He was up in the room and then he's gone.
Yeah.
They showed him on the balcony. Basically, he said to Pitsy, "Let's get out of here." So,
If only
were
the
they
other
doing the cousins at the family dinner thing? Like, hey, let's go for a walk. Let's go outside and smoke a joint or something. Is that why he wasn't at the table? Like, it seemed very like he was like a juvenile in the family.
He was definitely still mad about being told no when he wanted to allow the Russian mafia to bring a biological weapon into New York City.
No,
you guys never let me do anything.
I was like, well, this is one time I'm lucky that I sit at the kids' table at these things.
What's up, Al?
He... In the scene, right after Cesare told him he was as crazy as his brother, Looney Bin Jim, that's when he gets mad and he says, "I'm not eating with that shitbag."
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's right before he says, "I shit in a bag." That's really funny.
That was right after he said, "I shit in a bag."
Shit in a bag, dick in a box.
Whatever you're into.
So, all right. On Punisher's way out, he's spotted by a cop who gives him his car. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yep. Tosses him in keys.
He has got. That's like some OnlyFans level of like.
Yeah, he's simping for the Punisher.
Yeah.
I liked some attention to detail on his after killing all the guys on his way out the mansion before the cop finds him. He's sniffing a lot. Just as he's walking by. Later, he has to reset his nose with a pencil, using a pencil.
Septum,
yeah. Huh.
But yeah, there's that attention to detail that they just had him sniffing about 5 minutes before they reveal his.
Did he get pistol whipped or something in the face? I didn't even see him.
He headbutted somebody.
Oh,
Okay.
That's what it was. That makes sense.
That's pretty good.
brutal.
Yeah. It was a very brutal movie. it was a hard R.
Yeah, there's some.
You know, I will say this about that scene where he resets his nose. As somebody who has had their nose broken, there's a lot more blood involved, regardless of how badass you are. And that would have been really cool to have him just bloody nose,
gushing,
just, killing people.
But to Al's point, there is a scene even towards the end with LBJ mocking him, like pointing out where he would be hurt and should be hurt. You know what I mean? And just proving that the Punisher either ignores the pain, likes the pain, but definitely fights through the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. So Billy heads to his recycling factory.
Yeah, he fell into a vat of bottles.
Yeah, he's a glass magnate.
A glass magnate.
It's like, I got the homeless in this town wrapped around my finger.
Only I know the recipe for glass.
To recycle glass. A big glass blender.
At least he's environmentally conscious.
Yeah, you know, he's our first green villain besides maybe what's his face?
Poison Ivy. What about Poison Ivy?
Oh, well, yeah.
But it just gave me vat vibes.
Yeah, he fell into a vat of he should have become the bottler.
He's a goner. Yes, he certainly is a goner. But
okay, so yeah. Billy expresses that he's glad that the mafia boss is dead. We meet McGinty and his urban free flow gang.
He was so offensive that if I say why he was offensive, I'll sound offensive.
Everything about this character. Everything about this character.
Like, of course they're African. Of course they're Black Irishman. But that's what I just want to call him out on.
I kept getting last night when I was watching this, I was like, God, I keep getting this. Like, is he supposed to look like Lenny Kravitz? I feel like I'm like that's offensive for me to say. But he was like short of leather pants, looking like Lenny Kravitz.
Well, how are you going to get to that building? He's like, look, are you going to go my way, or are you going to go the Punisher's way? Kravitz.
So, but he had a Lucky Charms level Irish accent.
Yes.
His name is McGinty.
McGinty.
McGinty and his meth addicted urban free flow gang.
Yeah, they explicitly state that they are meth addicted.
Yes,
that's their
how
superpower.
They around buildings. They're not great at parkour.
Their parkour was hilarious. They were just climbing up ladders and jumping down. It was like Dwight. It was Dwight and Michael Scott level parkour.
Yeah, they're like, yes, exactly. They're meth heads thinking they're pulling shit off.
Yeah.
In their minds, it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. I totally did a backflip.
Awesome. I loved it. All right. So we find out that one of his guys is wearing a wire. The FBI is listening in.
And it wasn't Billy, ironically.
No.
Who was on the wire?
Oh, yeah. So Billy sends McGinty and his guys down to the port to do something. The docks to do something. I'm very unclear what they were supposed to do.
Shady shit happens at the dock.
They were supposed to hand out some money. I'm assuming bribes to make people look the other way, not look at the Russians, whatever was coming in.
Oh yeah,
okay.
He sent them with a bunch of bills. That's right.
Oh yeah,
this is how they do that in a general, like putting out a flyer, like it's a boat show or something, and they all just show up to get their.
Well, yeah, and we find out he's getting low on money, and he's like, "Where's the money?" And they're like, "It's down at what's his face's house."
It's at Bill's house and Jim's house
and Donatello's house.
Donatello and Raphael.
It was.
Yeah, it's not your money if you don't keep it.
No,
once it's money, it's true. Just possession is 9 tenths of the law of money.
When it's dirty mob money, it 100% belongs to the mobster that's holding it.
Yeah, as we saw in Batman, with the Joker sitting on the pile of bills.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the Joker's money now. Yeah,
yeah.
So Frank sneaks in. He kills the mob guy wearing a wire. He finds out he's an undercover agent and gets all sad. All hell breaks loose. The FBI comes in. They try to get Frank. Frank throws Billy into his vat of bottles. And the whole time, Billy isn't trying to climb out. He's just angry, yelling at Frank about it.
Screaming with his hands
not
out of
trying
the
to do
glass.
anything, just going, I hate you, Punisher. I hate you.
Curse this inevitable end.
Yeah.
Frank escapes and heads down to his underground hideout in the subway.
Always underground.
Yeah. It was not as clean as the
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very lived in. Like
Nothing will live in.
the love seat and
Yeah.
he had like a dirty coffee table full of like, I assume gun magazines.
One gun magazines and one copy of Mademoiselle.
In case somebody comes over.
Then let's see. We discover Billy survived, although he's been terribly scarred.
And he had an iconic super villain scene where he's wrapped up in bandages.
Oh yeah, that's
sitting in a chair.
That's coming up. That's we're not there yet.
Oh. Okay, my bad.
We get the funeral for dead FBI guy. We meet his partner, his widow Angela, and his child Grace. Angela and Grace, wasn't that a 90s sitcom about like a pair of Southern ladies? So we discover that his partner Paul, Mr. Booty, wants to go after the Punisher. He promises the widow he'll bring the Punisher to justice. Frank, of course, is watching from the shadows, watching the funeral
guilty
from afar, as they always do in every fucking funeral on film ever.
I wish they had him in a black dress with an umbrella. Just shot from a ways away.
So I have a question about this. Frank killed a guy that was undercover.
Yeah.
And he discovers it. Don't you think Frank would just be like, fuck, I used to do that job?
Yeah, I know.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's weird to just all of a sudden they mention once again 5 years of operation. He's like, oh, that was the first time he's been indiscriminate when shooting at a crime scene. I don't know.
I don't know why this one really got to him. Maybe it's because he had a wife and a kid.
Well, he says he had a family. Does he think none of those like gangster guards he kills have families?
Well, no, they're evil families.
Yeah, they're evil. Exactly. He snapped the matriarch's neck at the table.
She went for a gun. I mean,
she shouldn't have married a dick.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, going back to comics, that 12-issue run that was called Widowmaker, that story arc, that was about 5 widows of criminals that the Punisher had killed.
Okay.
Who band together
That's awesome.
to try and seek revenge against the Punisher.
They made a movie about something like that recently. But that's an awesome storyline. But I think it was called The Kitchen. I think it took place in Hell's Kitchen. It was like Melissa McCarthy.
Oh,
then African American actress, then other white actress. But anyway.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't see it, but I remember them promoting that. That's interesting.
Yeah, they like plan a heist or they try to get revenge on the dirty cops that put their husbands in the ground.
No.
That would have been a really cool Punisher movie, actually. I would 100% watch that.
Yeah, that's storyline.
Well, you know, the rights have reverted to Marvel for
Johnny Bernthal's great.
Yeah, he really is.
He is.
Yeah.
All right, so Frank has by a happy coincidence, his family's grave is in the same graveyard.
But we've got another body here.
And so we get some flashbacks to that fateful picnic.
Yeah, so they're not at a family reunion on a tropical beach.
No.
They're having a picnic. What kind of mafia is going down in this idyllic park? Perfect for a picnic.
It's Central Park in the comics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that wow in the comics?
This is so far the closest,
the most accurate
to the comics that Frank's death has been portrayed on screen.
Yeah,
doesn't help my question anymore, but I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not at all important, but you know, just like a guy playing frisbee, a little kid flying a kite, 3 guys in the off to the side.
Just
somehow they're collateral damage.
Right. It seems maybe they shouldn't schedule their mafia hits in the middle of a park in the middle of the day
during softball season.
Right, in strawberry fields.
Just hacking and sacking.
Yeah. So, all right. Paul heads into the New York PD to try and catch the Punisher. He's joining up. He's the liaison from the FBI, he says. They send him to the basement to partner up with Soap. Soap gives Paul a rundown of Frank's tragic backstory. Picnics and all. Picnics. Meanwhile.
Picnics.
Meanwhile, in the subway, Frank is packing up a bag of money. He's visited by his buddy Microchip. Microchip's a weapons guy. He's like, I'm on like SaudiJihad.com or something.
Yeah. Well, and it's gun season in Virginia.
Yeah.
It's gun show season in Virginia. It's such a great thing.
Yeah.
It's a great line, yeah.
Micro tries to convince Frank to continue fighting. Frank's like, I'm sad and I'm going to give some cash to the widow.
Sad, yeah. I killed one guy that didn't deserve it. I've only done that once.
Just once. I swear. Then we find Billy wrapped in bandages doing the Joker scene.
Yeah, there you go.
He's discussing with his guys that the FBI mole had a bunch of Billy's money. He wants to take it back. The doctor arrives and takes off the bandages.
How's the skin going?
Yeah.
So
Darkman
he is yet another casualty of bureaucratic bungling and U.S. health insurance.
He does, yeah. Oh, Jigsaw brings that up.
Gets stuck at the public health clinic.
Yeah, if Bernie Sanders had his way, this would never have happened.
Yeah.
He'd look awesome.
Yeah. There would have been no horse hide. Here.
Cass Anvar, who is no longer on the Expanse for obvious reasons. But he is the plastic surgeon.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting.
So, all right. Billy is displeased with his new look. After the bandages are removed, he kills the doctor. He names himself Jigsaw after the first thing he saw through the window.
But he could have gone with Lady Liberty.
He stabs him in the skull with scissors.
Yeah.
Not in the temple.
No.
In the forehead.
A lot of gruesome head damage in this.
Yeah. That's not feasible. That's like you need like a hydraulic press to put scissors into someone's forehead.
It's gonna take a lot, yeah.
Or you need
because it's this motion.
Or you need the strength of a puzzle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, real difficult.
I'm sorry, the proportionate strength of a puzzle.
Like an ant.
So he tells his men.
But you have the power of whatever the jigsaw puzzle is. like power of Labrador puppies.
Oh no, it's a gazebo. All right. So
Jigsaw.
Parkour. So he tells his men they have 3 goals. The first goal is to get his money back. The second goal is to kill Frank Castle. I never found out what the third goal was. He didn't. He just trailed off.
Did he say explicitly 3 goals?
Yes.
I thought he said 2, but I'm trying to.
I thought he said 3. I swear he said.
I didn't.
No. Yeah,
I noticed that he enumerated the goals, but
I thought he specifically said 3 goals.
He said, "Kill Frank Castle, and then also I'll make sure you never have to see your reflection again." Because I had written down like,
no. That's the brother saying that. That's the brother saying that to Jigsaw later on.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right.
So it was get his money, kill Frank Castle. In order to kill Frank Castle, they got to get Looney Bin Jim out.
Yeah.
And James.
Yeah.
James.
And this is the point where he's like, don't call him that. He's not LBJ. He's not even a JFK.
I thought
what
Jigsaw,
else do I have to say?
I thought Jigsaw with his like over the top New York accent and his scars, he reminded me of Ben Grimm. He reminded me of The Thing.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
So all right. They're gonna go break out James. We get a little bit of Frank just being sad, looking at school children.
Right. Sad. No, creep.
Right. Just standing outside of a school watching children.
Not blinking, not making a sound.
You can't do that, Frank.
If there is such thing as a red flag, it was that guy.
The teachers were totally like, kids, get inside. Get inside, children.
It's like, are you picking up your kid? Hopefully.
So, all right. Then Jigsaw and his boys go to break his brother James out of a mental health facility, which they then do. James does not get his applesauce, but he does get his kidneys.
He's a kidney enthusiast.
He is. He
knows a lot about kidneys.
He mentions kidneys multiple times.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
So is it just me, or do James and Billy have a really good brother, sibling relationship?
They're very supportive of each other.
They really
understand
are.
each other's needs and wants.
They really do. They help each other out. They go out of their way to help each other, feel
James
better about themselves.
James was probably, had behavioral issues, before they gave him the crazy nickname. But you know what? He probably had to stand up for his little brother all the time. He's not crazy.
Yeah.
You're the one that's crazy.
He just likes to eat people's organs.
That's all.
While they're alive.
That is all.
While they watch you eat them. Yeah. So, all right. So they get him out. Then that night, Frank goes to give the money to Angela. He meets and befriends Grace, her daughter.
Another creeper moment.
Yeah. But the widow Angela is unhappy at finding a strange, scary man on her porch giving her daughter presents.
Yeah. Sounds right.
She refuses.
With a bag of cash.
Yeah. She refuses the money, says, fuck off, Punisher. Frank wants her to kill her. He's like, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Well, and he leaves the money there.
No, he takes it with him.
I thought he left it there.
No, when he's walking away, he's carrying the bag.
Oh.
She told him to get it out of there.
Because she didn't say no twice. You have to get multiple no's, in that awkward gift-giving situation.
You do.
Like when offering to pay the check.
Sure, though? Because it's $100,000. I mean.
Are you sure? Angela says drops an F-bomb, and the little girl's like, that's a dad word. And all I could think was, Modib. My name is a dad word.
My name is a dad
shenanigans. That's a fucking dad word.
Yeah, it is. Woo. All right. So let's see. Jigsaw and his guys visit his brand new hotel, which he inherited, but they have to spend the night there, and it could be haunted. Yeah, so we got a hotel, I guess, and his brother's supportive of Billy's sense of self-worth, and so he smashes up some mirrors.
Movies have told me that if you can afford the very top penthouse office, you can get as evil as you want to up there. You can remodel torture devices, labs with Kool-Aid bubbling.
The Crow, the business bondage.
The Crow one was crazy.
A ski slope?
Yes. A ski slope.
Yeah.
The Crow was like a sleek outside modern skyscraper and then like a dungeon inside.
Yeah.
The sex office?
The sex office, yeah.
Yes. The non-consensual sex office.
They have a meeting with the Russian mob. They firm up the deal for the biological weapons to come into the country, but the price is now $12 million instead of 10. Next day, Frank follows a gangster-looking guy buying guns, follows him back to Micro's place. Micro's like, he's cool. And he's like, are you sure? He just walked into your apartment.
Like a friend would.
Yeah.
He's all Latin kings.
That is some profiling.
Yeah, there's some racial overtones there to that.
Yeah.
And he's like, once they are, they can't not be.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Exactly. As if he, Frank Castle himself, has not gone through incredible changes in his life.
Yeah, exactly.
But this kid, he's pegged.
Which is valid.
It's a good plan on far as Micro's part. Just get this guy to buy the guns off the street and then give to Frank.
Yep.
Yeah, from one set of outlaws to the one outlaw.
Yeah,
they're not going to recirculate.
That's true.
I mean, to be fair, Frank does drop his guns a lot.
He does litter his handguns.
Someone's going to pick those up.
The disposable gun movie thing. Yeah.
Those-
Out of bullets,
if you-
no good. It's a bic.
If you buy them out of the back of a Oldsmobile sedan, then they're probably the serial numbers are probably already scratched off.
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah,
You know,
It's been my experience.
it's the same with appliances. That's how I got my fridge.
Like, is this Discman hot? They're all, no, it's 2021.
Is that a speak and spell? So, all right. Frank decides to leave town. Micro convinces him to stay by telling him that Billy is still alive and is going to go after the widow. Frank agrees to take
I wanted to see the side movie where Frank rides the rails, just jumping trains and living the hobo life, helping farmers out.
traveling from town to town,
Punishing.
murdering people.
Punishing.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna punish.
Punishing. Yeah, murder is pretty punishing.
Yeah. He's all, this is punishment, I've decided. And my sidekick, verbal warning.
Frank agrees to take out Billy, but then says he's leaving after that. Soap and Paul look for Frank by listening into the police scanner. Jigsaw follows the widow. Carlos gets word about the Jumpy Boys having a deal go down, and Frank accosts them for information. Or at least McGinty, the other two, he just pops off.
Yeah.
They learn that
he blew up that first guy mid-jump with like a rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was
That was
shooting
pretty
squirrels.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is some
I
good
don't
aim.
understand why they all just stop.
Right.
Right.
Just
I would keep
like
jumping
deer in
around.
headlights. Like, oh, that guy's shooting a gun at us.
Better
Let's just stand
freeze.
here.
Oh wait, he's putting that gun down and picking up another gun.
Right?
I bet he's going to use that one too.
I better not duck behind any sort of cover.
Yeah. Like, as a
shooting
guy
well
who jumps
parkour.
for a living,
I'm going to stand
this
still.
is the time you do it. You know?
The
Like,
guy who jumps for a living.
it's their only ability.
He's been working in the jumping mines.
Jumping business is rough.
But you're right about killing the first two guys. That's not real, you know. It's like, I'm going to assume they know nothing.
Yeah.
And this guy's the guy with the info.
It's McGinty or nothing.
It's McGinty.
And he shoots the first guy with a fucking rocket, which you can see, like, oh, that came from that direction over there, and they're all like staring at him, making eye contact with the guy, and
As
then
he
picks up
shoots
another
him.
gun.
Yeah.
And then he's the dude that's emotionally conflicted about accidentally killing that one cop, and then shoots bazookas off in the alleys of New York.
Well, yeah, and if he had missed the jumping guy,
Rocket launchers.
Oh, the building, like, way back
he
there
would
would have been
killed some,
gone.
like, family in a tenement somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
No.
Nor is he thinking ahead
Conflicted
at all.
at best.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. He learns that Jigsaw is going after the widow.
Willow.
The willow tree. Paul and Soap happen upon Frank and McGinty as McGinty dies. Paul goes after Frank. They fight. Paul manages to handcuff him and take him into custody.
Frank slows his fall from the roof by stepping on McGinty's head.
Yes, he does.
Brutal.
Woo.
And that's the end of Colin McGinty.
After he's been impaled on that fence, after the Punisher bounces off his head and lands, he doesn't even look up at the car that's right there, like total horse blinder.
Yes,
thing.
no,
it just walks straight off camera.
Well, this
I wrote
how
down
small
just
is
like-
New York.
it seems very. That's what
You know,
Yeah.
they're not
But I
even
did
fighting
like-
in Hell's Kitchen. They're fighting in one corner of one street. You know,
off in
like
the same alley. It seems.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the way he crossed, I'll just say the way he crossed in front of the car without looking, I totally wrote down like Bigfoot. That's exactly how Bigfoot interacts with them. There's nothing to the right or left of me.
Let's see. Jigsaw and his guys arrive at Angela's house. They take her prisoner, demand to know where the money is, start tearing the house up. the cops agree to have a welfare check done at the widow's house, so they send in some uniformed officers to take a look. James kills them just immediately. They walk in and let him go behind. Like, they are bad cops.
Yeah. Well, and the guy clearly has cuts and a bandaged face. Like, he may have a potential for violence.
Well, yeah, and they say, and he says, no.
It's not, as a matter of fact.
Well, and not to mention, at this point, there'd be an APB for a guy who escaped from a mental hospital and killed, his caretakers.
Yeah.
Well, and then somebody does mention it later, I believe, one of the cops, but why wasn't she under protection? At least for a little while.
Yeah.
Just in case. They don't know the Punisher inside and out. So it's like, let's get some agents there because her husband was just gunned down.
Well, and her husband is such an allegory, or like such a comparison to Frank, because Jimmy kills the cop with a sword.
Yeah,
he's an FBI agent. He's got like a fucking katana hanging on his wall. Like,
we got to start a tally for that. Where like the sound that happens when there's no logical reason.
Oh no! This movie, every time the jumpers jumped, it was like whoosh, 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 like every time. Yeah,
with their pants on backwards.
They jumped around. They jumped up. And they got down.
Yep, tell us that last time.
All right, so let's see. Soap, Paul, and Frank head over to the widow Angela's house.
That's what reminded me of Lethal Weapon. It's just like Joe Pesci in the back seat.
Yeah.
Frank Castle, of course, was Pesci, but yeah.
Frank, oh my God, I'd love to see Joe Pesci play the Punisher.
Yeah, he's done a lot of punishing in his career.
Yes. So they Paul goes in, immediately gets captured, luckily not murdered like the other cops.
They didn't have a sword or something ridiculous to kill him with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love when James is looking for the money, which is a large amount. He flips over the coffee table. He's like, it's not under there. And then he throws the dishes one by one.
He's just throwing them by.
They're not here. Like, James, I know you're crazy, but I do need you to look for the money.
It's like, you're not helping. What you're doing is not helpful.
We got a time frame?
This is just petty vandalism, James. Come on.
At this point, they're microaggressions, James.
So
macroaggressions.
Yeah.
All right.
Frank convinces Soap to free him. Frank goes in, kills off most of Billy's guys. He just punches through the skull of the kid, like right through his skull.
Yeah. The kid that has no idea where to do coke.
Yeah, he walks over, sets down his weapon, turns his back to the door, and does some coke.
I understand the incessant need to do it. That's sort of built into the appeal. But just to do it wherever you are, just standing there.
Is that why his face is so fragile that Frank can just punch it in?
Well, we all know
vitamin
coke.
D.
Coke does make your forehead extremely thin.
Or maybe Frank was on cocaine. That makes you so strong.
He had some of the jumpers.
Nothing can stop you.
I am a badass now.
So, all right.
And you should hear about some of my ideas.
Yeah.
First of all, the earth is flat.
Yeah. It's way flat.
All right. So,
concave.
Paul and Soap comes in. Paul and him manage to take Jigsaw and James into custody after Frank escapes with Angela and Grace. Frank takes them back to his hideout and decides they're going to stay there until they get word that Jigsaw is safely put away in jail.
Oh, I caught something that's probably unrelated, but if it's unrelated, it's funny. But there was a guitar case. Wasn't it in the Tom Jane Punisher movie where there was an assassin that was a country singer, sort of a mariachi type?
What was his name? It was
he had a fun name.
Hank Heck.
Yeah.
Hancock.
So then I thought, like, it's got to be a reference to that, because if it's not a reference to that, that means when Frank's not viciously, angrily plotting revenge, he's strumming the guitar, doing some like Harry Chapin tunes.
Yeah. Some John Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, some John Denver.
Sunshine on my shoulders.
He's like, what? I got feelings. I'm a person.
I don't express myself through murder. It's just what I do for a living.
I have 2 ears and a heart, don't I?
It's like, so this is an Ed Sheeran tune.
Yeah, 2, 3.
All right. So back at the police station, the FBI dude, head guy, arrives. He cuts a deal with Jigsaw to take down the Russians and their biological weapon in exchange for Jigsaw getting immunity and an as yet unrevealed to us perk. So they bust the Russians. The Russians vow revenge upon Jigsaw. And for the first time ever in reality or fiction, the cops kept their word. Why would they do that? I would just be like, aha, we were lying all along. Yeah.
You're still going to jail.
Like, dude, you're going to get great medical care in jail. So we just figure it's for the best.
You can go free. Your mental escapee brother can go free.
Right.
You can have the money.
Right.
Just because you got us to some Russians.
Like, no, that's not how that works. There's a lot of paperwork at least.
And I don't know
and
if
the
people
FBI
realize
is going to
this,
be
but cops
pissed.
can lie to
And this
you.
all took place over one night.
Yeah, the cops can legally lie to you
Absolutely
to get you to
legally.
cooperate.
Yeah. That's where that first Miranda right comes in.
Right?
Don't talk to us. We're going to lie.
Yeah, that's the unsaid part of the first Miranda right. You have the right to remain silent because we're going to say some bullshit to you.
Yeah. You and your co-conspirators, we're going to get you to rat on each other.
So
They actually made their deal with the FBI.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But
and Homeland Security,
They lied
yes.
too.
yeah, the FBI also has the right to
It's
lie
true.
to you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not
It's a
just
law
local.
enforcement.
It's not
The
just
Supreme
local.
Court, the Supreme Court decided for reals. All right, but anyway.
All right. So let's see. They fulfill their deal with Jigsaw and give him the identity of Microchip. That was the third part of their deal, was like, oh, also we want to be able to kidnap and murder this guy. Cool.
He's like, yeah, he's a computer expert we've never seen on the computer, but he's got a lot of guns. So, you know, that makes sense.
His name is Microchip, and all he does is buy and sell weapons.
Yeah, he didn't hack into anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's got to
something
be
that
about his peenie.
the show did such a great job of doing, is showing that Micro was one step ahead of Frank because of his ability. You know, and Frank ultimately needed him because he was also being blackmailed by him.
Yeah.
Which is what a hacker would do in that situation. Like, oh, you're a murderer? Well, I'll just blackmail the shit out of you, dog.
Right. I'll get you your sensitive info.
So, all right, Jigsaw and okay, wait. So, no, all right. Then in his hideout, Carlos arrives. Frank puts him in charge of protecting Grace and Angela while he goes after Jigsaw. Jigsaw and James decide to recruit an army from the streets to kill Frank. We see that they have captured Microchip.
So did anybody else pick up on Blazing Saddles energy there?
Oh,
Just
God,
like a line of bad guys
Yes.
lining up to be
yes.
interviewed and then chosen.
And he's doing like a patent speech. Like,
Some of them have briefcases and like carpet bag type. Yeah.
The patent speech in front of
Yeah.
the like projector flag.
Oh.
To each ethnic gang.
right?
Yeah, so we had We had the Japanese
Yeah.
triads. We had
Yeah.
the Irish.
Yeah, the IRA type.
There was like your kind
Yeah.
of standard African American gangbanger
Oh
gang.
yeah, like a
white people just think
Black
they look
Street
like-
gang kind of thing. Yeah,
Yep.
and then
The Backstreet's back. All right.
All right.
yeah, was that like a Wire reference because they were all wearing like FUBU bubble jackets and stuff?
I'm pretty sure that's just what white people assumed black people looked like in
Right, yeah.
2008.
It would have been great if like the last gang was a furries or LARPers or something.
Or just like white collar criminals, you know?
Yeah, white collar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like in Mystery Men. What were they? The frat boys? Or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. Like we're the Brooks brothers. So
Death by Ascot.
yeah. Let's see. Frank discovers the scene at Micro's house, and Microchip's mother's half skull is still smoking.
Yeah.
And-
a lot of half skulls.
There's still like half of her brain kind of poking out from the half.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know what they did, but they did a lot.
Well, there were we saw so many instances of a head half blown off or all the way blown off that you could almost say it was this director's signature. Like she liked doing that because, we saw a lot of people with just like a half moon.
That's why I'm saying like very Verhoeven-y, like a Total Recall, RoboCop, like era Verhoeven with like that kind of gruesomeness.
RoboCop, yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's very brutal.
Very.
So, all right.
Like, was it Brian? Was it you that said that it was a horror movie? Like,
this is totally a horror movie.
A kid horror movie. Not even
starting with Jigsaw's face every time you see his freaking horse eye.
Oh God, yeah.
Like,
yeah. Gary Oldman had that eye in Hannibal.
Yeah,
freaked me the fuck out when
This is the closest to that I've felt, where I'm just like, oh God, like I do want to turn away. I understood why the henchman threw up immediately.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he was just strung out on gack as well. just twisted teeth.
Well, and he's truly grotesque. Like
he is. He's gross. Horse flesh.
Yeah.
If I was the doc, I would have left that out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have mentioned it.
I wouldn't have closed with horse flesh because you are getting some scissors in the head.
Bad news first or good news first?
What's the good news? I didn't say there was any.
Yeah, equestrian donations are up.
He was the only viable donor.
Yeah. We tried to get the jockey, but he snuck away.
Little devils.
They're little. They run.
They hopped right onto another horse.
They scurry.
We got this horse with apples.
Another horse.
I assume that his plastic surgeon was also a veterinarian for the mob.
So, all right. So, Jigsaw and James arrive at Frank's hideout. They shoot Carlos. They take the widow and the child.
They don't shoot Carlos. They axe Carlos.
Oh, that's right. He got an axe.
Because he's axing him. And I will say...
I'm going to ask you a question.
He used that joke twice.
Yeah, then he followed it up. I'm going to axe you another.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, it worked once. Unless you can pull off a rule of three, which would be the little girl.
He was practically like, get it? Axe you?
Okay, but Frank and Carlos, when Frank finds him, there's a piece of dialogue that's worthy of any awesome war movie. Because he's like, I'll see you in hell. And he's like, if I see you in hell, I'm kicking your ass out.
Yeah.
You know, like the last line to the kid in the squadron.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no way you're going to hell, kid.
That was very
Not
Frank,
if I have something
like,
to say.
To show the redemption of the guy that he had no faith in, whatever. That was kind of neat. I will say this. That guy got axed 2 questions.
It's the same question twice.
I'm going to ask you again. Yeah, that checks out.
And then, okay, so Frank's first thing that he does when he walks up to this guy who is still alive with an axe in his chest is to remove the axe.
No, you don't do that. It's stopping the blood.
You know, we do not offer medical advice at Harmless Phosphorescence, but if you know of anyone who is stabbed at this point in time and you are listening, do not remove the knife.
Or the axe.
Any stabbing. Yeah.
Or the axe.
Leave the axe in.
Because it may be
your car.
slowing the blood loss. You know, do not remove an axe. Take them to a hospital and have them staunch the bleeding and remove the axe. Well, have professionals do that kind of thing. Frank's just like, oh, shit.
Oh, now there's an empty space. I guess your body's going to fill it with
blood.
He says to him,
blood and bile.
I've seen this kind of thing before. You'll be okay.
You're fine. This is not a punishing. This is a stern talking to.
It's like, what do you think I am, stupid? Look at this thing. Oh my God.
Right? And then Frank has to old yeller him.
Yeah, he does.
He covers his eyes and shoots him.
He's like, think about the party.
I was surprised that he was shot in black,
Yeah, that they didn't
he covers his eyes and then we get just darkness and hear a gunshot. Whereas, we watched him get axed in the chest. Who gives a shit? There was blood everywhere.
No, but this is good guy on good guy violence. This is man on man violence.
It was a weird
soap is familiar.
It was a weird artistic choice.
It was. Yeah.
All right. So Frank goes, he meets Paul in a church, tells him that Jigsaw has Angela and Grace, convinces Paul to help him secure the trade of Angela and Grace for himself.
This church has a neon crucifix.
Yeah, this church is banging.
Is the Vegas, nightclub.
Vegas chapel.
Catholic chapel thing. They had the statues that were crying blood or whatever too.
And that the priest that came up to Frank was like vibing him hard. He was like, I didn't expect to see you back here, Frank.
He's like, hey man, you still owe me for that MDMA from last weekend. What's happening?
And his
one of those silent clubs. He's just listening with headphones on the whole time.
He's got glow sticks. He's like, what's up, Frank? Not cool.
He's like, you know what Jesus wants? Jesus wants you to fucking get down.
That priest made it sound like Frank used to be in seminary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with the wife then? And the children?
They grew up together in that too? He knew him from seminary school.
Yeah, they've known each other for a long time.
Other seminary.
Yeah, I was getting real Toby from The Office vibes. And then I met a woman.
Not seminary, seminary.
Seminary. Yeah, like Toby.
Like soap?
Yeah.
They all work together on that one film.
Oh no.
Deep soap.
Angels in the infield. All right. So all right. So Billy and James, they do their recruiting thing, and they take up residence in their hotel. Soap and Paul tell the Russian mob where to find Jigsaw. Did the Russian mob not know who it was? Like, were they like, okay, so your son got turned into the FBI by some dude with a horse flesh face, but we don't know which one. It could be any dude with a horse flesh face.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and they convinced the Russian mob to go attack him after he has recruited all the other gangs in town.
Yeah.
They didn't do this beforehand. They weren't aware of him recruiting all the gangs because they probably thought, he's just holed up in this hotel by himself. The Russian mob is really bad at what they do, it seems, in this moment.
It would appear so.
Well, they had a personal, vendetta. Why they weren't more proactive.
All of these...
you think they would attack him initially. Like, oh, crap, we lost out. That's a lot of money for chemical weapons.
Well, do you notice...
And you killed my son at your meeting.
You notice every single one of these mobs and gangs consist of 10 people who hang out in a room together at all times.
At all times.
Yeah. Smoky room playing cards together, whatever.
Right.
Like
every single mob is just 10 dudes that are playing cards together and smoking. Yeah.
And one of them's named Turtle.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, in reality, these guys,
that's multicultural.
These guys would have 1,000 pawns that they would then send, but instead they show up to Jigsaw's hotel.
Exactly.
Themselves,
What's on all the other floors of that building?
Right.
You couldn't round anybody up. 2 guys. If I went to a bar now, I'd get 2 guys to come out.
Well, they showed that building. It's a good like 20, 30 floors, and Frank went up the stairs. So
I don't trust elevators.
All right. So Frank mounts up, heads to the hotel. Then he, Paul, and Soap watch. They're just standing outside on the sidewalk and watching the Russians go inside to do this. The Russians infiltrate the hotel and start a battle with the other gangs. The Punisher goes in. He fights his way through the hotel, upstairs to the penthouse, where he gets to have a one-on-one with James.
Yeah.
Well, and this, I don't know. I think the Saw movies came out before this. Yeah. But the bad guy from Saw is named Jigsaw, and he says to Punisher, "Do you want to play a game?"
Oh, yeah,
sure does.
Huh.
Which I'm pretty sure was them being like, wink, wink.
Okay.
Our Jigsaw came first, but here's a Jigsaw horror reference.
Yeah, makes sense. Huh.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Is that a pool also?
Was it a pool?
I thought it was like a fountain that the water had been drained out of, and then they put a fire pit in.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
That's not... I don't think you're allowed to do that in your hotel room.
I mean,
hey, on those top floors, you can get away with anything.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's reasonable. That is what it looked like.
It looked like a bathhouse pool, like not like a pool that you would swim in, like a pool that like John Wick would kill people in or something,
or that you would pour water over for steam.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah, so all right. So Punisher fights James one-on-one. James runs away back to his brother where he's keeping the hostages. Jigsaw forces Frank to choose between Micro or Grace. So it's like James has the gun on Grace, Jigsaw has the gun on Micro, and he's like, choose which one dies. Like, that's not even, I mean, come on. That was always
sorry, Newman.
Yeah, it's Newman. Are you kidding me?
That was always going to go that way.
Just don't look at me.
Yeah.
It was cool. I will say it was cool the way that they handled it, where he's like, obviously I'm going to shoot my pal and not some kid.
Uh-huh. Well, and it was like, whoa, because you're so used to in superhero movies, like them being just so unrealistically quick to pull it all off. Yeah. And he didn't save Micro, so it was like, oh shit, he just got capped in the brain.
Yeah.
So that's real.
Yeah.
He still chose, even though he was intending to save them both.
What was funny was it did take Frank a minute. So after like he shoots James, and then Jigsaw shoots Micro. Uh-huh. It took a little too long for Frank to run over in front of Grace.
Bigfoot stride.
Yeah, he was kind of like, okay, I'm going to get there. Yeah, so
getting his steps in.
So Frank then just kicks Jigsaw's ass, stabs him sideways through with that spike thing.
He body slams him into the edge of that like pit so many times. He's broken all of his bones.
There's a lot of like wire work slamming people into the side of concrete things and tiles flying everywhere. Like a lot of that.
Somebody got hit in the face with like some concrete rubble.
Oh yeah. LBJ threw that at his head. That was the first thing that he did to him. Was he threw a rock at his head.
Yeah.
He also threw like shattered glass in his face.
Yes, he did.
Like you would sand.
Oh, yes, you're right. He did. Yeah, like the sand.
Like the pocket sand. Oh.
Yeah. Yes. No.
So all right, he frees Angela and Grace, kills Jigsaw, and throws Jigsaw in the middle of the fire and just lets him burn.
Yep.
Ooh, and his eyeball caught on fire very early.
Well, horse eyes do that.
They are incredibly flammable. If you've ever seen a horse catch on fire, they go up just like that.
When I'm camping, I always take a bag of horse eyeballs to use as kindling.
Your eyes could just burst.
They make for a great snack too if you're,
feeling famished. The way they pop when you bite into them. All right, so Frank meets up with everybody outside.
Uh-huh.
Angela and Grace say goodbye to Frank, and they go their separate ways. Frank and Soap walk away, and Frank like disappears from Soap. Soap gets mugged immediately, and Frank, in this dramatic scene where like Jesus disappears from the neon cross behind him. Frank shoots the mugger, and we roll credits.
Yep.
And that's the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found it entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought the script was pretty good. A lot of it could have been a lot cheesier than it was.
Oh, yeah.
That's high praise for us, but yeah.
It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Same.
Ray Stevenson was a little too dry sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
very emotionless.
Yeah.
He was almost there. He could have had a little more anger or something like that.
Unless he was weeping at his the grave of his wife and children.
Yeah, exactly. He was all right, but I think if Thomas Jane had come back for this one and it was the exact same movie but with Thomas Jane, it would have been much improved.
Yeah.
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 I missed Tom Jane. Did you guys watch the Dirty Laundry video that I sent?
Oh yeah, I've seen that
guys-
before.
Yeah.
The Thomas Jane, like the short Punisher film that he made.
Yeah. After this, I think maybe 2012.
Yeah, it was after this, wasn't it?
But it was fun to see him as the Punisher again. I watched it for the first time a couple days ago.
Okay.
Ray Stevens featuring the Streak album.
Different. Wait, was that a different Ray Stevens?
That's Ray Stevens.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, this movie was gory. Like, it was just fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not a good movie, but lots of fun.
It gave me Toxic Avenger vibes at moments where it was too gory. Where I'm just like, oh shit, man, why did you have to kill Micro's grandma or Micro's mom like that?
Yeah.
Right?
Or jumping on a dude's head to like slow your roll.
Or pointing a gun at a little girl. You know, there were these moments that
there was a lot of that.
Where it's like, why are we pointing a gun at the kid? Point a gun at the mom. You can.
There were Kaufman
kill the kid later.
Yeah.
Looney Bin Jim made me uncomfortable multiple times.
The name or his
Basically
behavior?
every time he spoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had crazy eyes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got an unanswered question. Where was the money that the mole FBI mole mob guy had? The widow's
I
husband?
think that was the money that Punisher had in the bag to give to the Donatelli family.
How did he get that money?
I don't know.
Well, the FBI, that was part of the condition. They were going to give him the money. All he
Right.
said was the money. They kept saying the money.
I'm so confused about the whole money thing. Like, that was very unclear in this movie. Where the money was, who it belonged to, where it was going.
I thought this was all philanthropic.
Yeah, it could have been not a plot point at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
could have
they kind of set themselves up when what's his face Jigsaw says like, we have two things on the to-do list: get my money and kill Frank Castle. It's like, you could just be like, dude, there's only one thing that we're focused on right now. It's killing Frank Castle.
Yeah.
We'll figure out paying for it later.
Well, I mean,
Then we'll worry about
as
chewing
much
gum.
sense.
well, yeah, right. Well, I mean, they clearly wanted a reason for them to have to go after the widow.
Yeah.
But like, just like revenge against her husband being an FBI mole, I think would have been enough.
Yeah. It's true.
I don't know.
Or just having them figure out that Frank felt guilty would have been enough. Like, oh, this dude feels guilty about killing the FBI agent.
Yeah.
Let's kill her family too. That'll make him feel like shit. That'll really rile him up and get him out of his hiding place.
His only weakness is the murder of other people. Like, oh, a lot of us are not into that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so
Ranking ain't easy.
yeah, you guys ready to rank the movie?
I feel like I never am. I have no problem with the rankings, but I feel like every time I'm caught unawares.
Well, here's, let's see. Let's go down to our big list here, the rankings. Where do we have the other Punishers? Where are they on this list?
Oh my god.
56 and
Punisher
57.
04 and 89 are next to each other.
Are they really?
Yes.
Well, we felt like they weren't all that different. You know, as far as comic book
Oh, there they
Punisher
are.
went.
56 and 57. This is what we're talking out of 78. This will be our 79th. So they are in the back half.
Well, like Al mentioned, this has more instances of canon, material than those first two did for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not necessarily.
Well, it's better than those two.
It is a better.
I guess I was just selling myself on my own idea. Yeah, but it's still better than the first two, hands down.
I found it much more entertaining and a much more fun. Like, it was just a more enjoyable experience watching it than either of the other two.
Yeah.
I think it's a better movie than Crow City of Angels. That was the one with the sex the
the booths.
The sex office?
Oh, the
sex office. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Sex Office.
How
what you think?
Toxic Avenger Part 2, I think it was probably better than that.
I think it's better than that.
Hell, I think it was better than Jumper. We got Jumper up at 49.
It's better than Hero at Large, then. Just de facto, it's better than Jumper. It's gotta be. So.
Was it better than Ghost Rider?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost Rider was crazy, but that was like 50% Cage.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. This was action-packed.
It
was a thrill ride that didn't stop.
I could see putting it
March of the Penguins.
I could see putting it above Superman or TMNT 2. Once we get to Spider-Man 3, then it starts to become questionable, I feel like.
Yeah.
But even though I liked Van Helsing, I think it's better than Van Helsing.
Yeah. X-Men Last Stand.
But do I? I like Spider-Man. Even though Spider-Man 3 was the worst of the lot, I do enjoy seeing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put it above that.
I don't know. Al and Brian, you guys want to weigh in?
I don't know if I like this. Well, if this was better than Howard the Duck.
Yeah, it might have been. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's a hard breaking point for me is Howard, where I'm like, oh, but Howard was not comic book necessarily, but was fun and awful. But this was awful and comic booky, but like more horror than. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really hung up on the like, whoa, the shock factor of this movie. This is very different.
It was gory. It was definitely gory. It's one of the better scripts that we've had to listen to in a while, which is funny to say, but
yeah,
a lot of the dialogue was natural.
Yeah.
Well, and Jigsaw was a just romp. That character.
Yeah. This had a lot of really great actors in some of these roles too. Yeah.
What you thinking, Al?
The highest I would put it is at 44 above Turtles 2.
Okay,
so under Spidey. So that is kind of our range then, from that down to from Daredevil up to Spidey. It's going to go somewhere in here. Well, so Brian is definitely for putting it below Howard. God, I can't believe we put Jumper up there.
Yeah.
Every week, I'm like, wow, why do we put that there?
We're basically throwing darts at the wall.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah, just grab a number around that area.
Do we want to stick it right below Howard then? Just put it in at number 52?
That's what she said? Yeah, stick it in. Do it.
Brian and Al? Okay.
They stick it in.
Al,
it in.
Do you want me to stick it in, Al? Do you answer the question, Al?
That's fine.
Okay. That's the same thing she said.
Yeah, exactly.
When I asked that question.
Wasn't a no, wasn't a yes.
Like, that's fine.
Whatever, just don't wake me up.
This is all too familiar. All right, there we go. Punisher Warzone on the big list at number 52. That makes 79 movies we watch, which means next week we'll be watching number 80. And number 80 is The Spirit. OMG.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this movie.
Samuel L. Jackson, right?
I believe. Yeah, he's in that. Yeah.
There's a lot of good people in it, but yeah.
Directed by what's his face from
Franklin Xavier Miller.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Frank Miller's one and only directing job.
Yeah.
Wow.
You.
So that's it for us this week, everybody. Thanks for listening to and watching Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been Krispy Kreme motherfucker throws Smiley.
I'm Josh CC, and where the fuck is Nikki?
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'd love to get my hands on God.
I'm Alaric Weber, and now I've got brains splattered all over me.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys.